has made the way for me.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kenneth Copeland, and this is the Believer's Voice of Victory broadcast. And this is our second week with my dear friend, Pat Boone, and the whole family of Boonies.
Yeah, from long ago.
Yes, from 1955 to 1955 until now.
Yeah.
And so many of the things in his life that I had heard of, but never got to. I didn't have any idea you were before the Queen of England.
Twice. But the second time was embarrassing.
Don't tell it right now.
Okay.
We're going to get to that.
But I'm happy to tell
hold
it.
that thought.
I'll tell it when you want me to.
Now.
Okay. And
You tell your testimony after I get this.
I'm not going to tell anything on you, though.
Oh, thank God. Okay. I wanted to thank you for your mentorship. Y'all have helped me in my faith walk with the Lord. BVOV has been a blessing in my life. I'm forever grateful to it. Your entire family is a huge inspiration for me. I went through a period of having terrible panic attacks without any rest. I learned from Kenneth Copeland the principles of faith and the importance of leaning on God. So I began quoting scriptures and casting out those panic attacks in the name of Jesus. I've also enjoyed reading your devotional From Faith to Faith. I recently became a partner with the ministry as I felt called to do so because you have changed my life, and I pray for you every day, LN in North Carolina. Glory be to God. Now, she mentioned that. Let's bring in this. In the 11th chapter of Hebrews, in the Classic Amplified. Now faith is, now I already start out, faith is now.
Mm-hmm.
Now faith is the confirmation, the title deed of the things we hope for, being the proof of things we do not see, the conviction of their reality, faith receiving as real fact what is not revealed to the senses. Mm-hmm. It's the title deed.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
you own it.
You own it.
Yes.
What you're believing to get out of debt? Well, you've got the title deed, whatever you need paid off. But you have to do it by faith. And now, there's, and we'll talk about this later, but over in the 11th chapter of Mark, it says, it will be granted to you. We came in to my dad's office one day, Pat, and he just handed me a computer tape with 5,000 in red.
Oh.
And he just looked at me. Yeah, the minister's 5,000 in red.
Yeah.
So I got this book, and Gloria and I went out, and I moved his desk chair out and got on my knees with Amplified. Mm-hmm. And we got us a heavenly grant for $5,000.
Yeah.
And we believed it.
Yes.
We just said, glory to God, that $5,000 deal is paid.
Yeah.
We have it now in the name of Jesus. Mm-hmm. And these are the words of Jesus. So we have it. I'm telling you, it's something like 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. We didn't ask anybody for it.
Yeah.
But that's been going on in this ministry for almost 60 years. Yeah. This is 59th year of it.
Yeah.
From having an adventure in these books.
And believing God.
Yes.
Not believing that these things cannot happen.
That's right.
Not believing that it's just your selfish wish. God guarantees that if we ask, especially if 2 or 3 of us together agree,
Set yourself.
He's going to do it. He says, whatever you ask. And I mean, it is hard to believe, and it requires faith.
I picked this up from Brother Hagin. I'm not moved by what I feel. Mm-hmm. I'm not moved by what I see. I am moved only by what I believe, and I believe the Scriptures. This is what moves me. And then Another thing that moves me. Now, testimonies don't make faith. Faith comes by hearing word. But testimonies build a capacity for faith that's just, it'll take it from here to here. Particularly when it's a man like Pat and Shirley and the whole Boone family, that they're faced with impossibilities over and 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 over again, and just told the devil what he could do with it. Just take a hike. They believe God.
Yeah.
Because they refused to compromise in front of the Queen of England or anyone else. Now, I'll tell you what that reminded me of. The Wright Seminary is still there.
The Wright?
Yeah.
R-I-T-E?
No, W-R-I-G-H-T.
Oh, the Wright Seminary.
The Wright brothers.
Oh.
So they had because they invented the airplane.
Yeah.
So they sent him a telegram. We have an audience with the Queen. He said, don't drink her wine. That's what made me think of that. He wouldn't compromise. And they invented the airplane.
Oh, yeah. Did pretty well.
Yeah, Orville Wilbur.
Yeah, drinking Pepsi. I don't know what they drank.
But they were Methodist.
Yeah.
And that Methodist seminary is still there.
And they were believers. I mean, whatever the title was, or whichever prophet they followed, whose name might be on it, they were believing in Jesus and His Word.
How they had to trust God and pray and pray and pray and pray and pray and pray. They figured out how to make this thing fly from here to there, but now how do you turn it? And that was the hard part.
Yeah.
They could fly straight and level.
Yes, and it just went up in the air for about a minute and a half.
Oh yeah, just
clattered back down onto the ground.
Now you got to figure out how to turn this thing.
Yeah.
And anyway, but this goes back to callings. It goes back to faith. Whatever it is, it's the title deed of it.
Yeah.
But knowing how to function in faith, that's another thing. We were in, I went back to ORU for the first time to preach there. And you remember that at the gate, the would go back, and then their personal residence was behind that gate, and it would close. So I'd preached in a couple of departments. We went in there. So we walked in there. They were preparing our lunch.
And this is quite an honor.
And they were preparing our lunch, but because he became my spiritual parent because and because I was flying for him.
You'd been his pilot.
Yeah, and all that. And I came back to preach. And so, if you can imagine this, he just kicked his shoes off and sat down on the floor. He said, Kenneth, take your shoes off and sit down right here. Gloria, take your shoes off and sit down here. Evelyn, take your shoes off. Oral, I am not going to take my shoes off. So I said, he looked at me and he said, Kenneth, teach me faith. I said, you've got to be kidding me. You?
Yeah.
He said, you boys have learned some things I don't know, and you're looking at the hungriest man on this planet.
I was there when another miracle you were part of with him.
I just went to Mark 11, 23, 24, and 25. And he said, it's the saying part. Yes. It's the saying part. Yeah. And he said,
it's the word. Yeah. Words are to be spoken.
And he said, I'm going to get up and I'm going to say, now Kenneth Copeland said this. And then he said, I'm going to say, somebody said this. And he said, then you're on your own, boy. But I was stunned. You boys have learned something that I don't know. And I'm the hungriest man for God on this planet. That, staying hungry for this book, all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, they just get hungry for it. Just get hungry to read it. And I was preaching in another place. Well, it's our home church when he came back. And I was shocked that they'd never heard the word of faith. Because Harold knew Lickles there at Grace Temple. Mm-hmm. Well, I was just teaching what I learned from Brother Hagin.
Yeah.
And in the morning, and she picked this up. She said, she began to cry. She said, I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know I had to say it. She said, we just said anything that popped in our heads.
Oh.
They were pastoring the church.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Harold Nichols rebaptized Gloria May and John Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And
then Oral had to teach other ministers what he had learned, what you'd helped him.
We would go in the sponsoring pastors that the people never heard and what he taught them. I wish there was some way to have recorded it, but it's magnificent.
Okay.
Now, I want to go back and your New York City and all of these, then you
moved out to New Jersey.
And they were out in New Jersey. And when did you leave there and go back to Tennessee? Or did you go back to Tennessee?
No, we moved. Shirley's wisdom, knowing that I was going to have such a busy life. She was the daughter of Red Foley, who was gone all the time on the road as a country performer. And she knew that, and I was going to be making movies and busy. She said, I want my four girls to have a normal upbringing. We got to go to California, because you're going to be doing all these things you can operate.
That's when you moved.
We moved to Beverly Hills, California.
Yeah.
And the miracle occurred where we bought a house, a beautiful home in Beverly Hills. And I'm just fresh out of college now, but I'm making...
that fixed that timeline for me because I came to that house and sat there with the girls.
Yeah.
Talking about the two of us.
Yes, yeah.
That
brings you back to...
that brings
it was Beverly Hills, that house.
Yeah.
And I'm still in that house. We bought it in 1960. And it was a lovely home. It was 10 years old then. And the guy named White had another business called Knickerbocker Toys. And he sold that. Now, he had another business in New York. He wanted to move. We didn't know this. He wanted to move to New York, so he was asking. Now this sounds weird, I guess. He wanted $200,000 for that house, 1.2 acres in the corner of Beverly and Sunset in Beverly Hills. The property was much less valuable, or priced anyway. And I said, $200,000? That's $500,000. How can I do that? And I was making money from performing. But still, I was Pat Boone from Nashville, and I didn't, $200,000, that's $500,000. And he said, no, the realtor says we'll haggle, we'll offer him $159,000. I said, well, that's 25% less he's asking. That's what we do. Maybe he'll come down to $190,000. $195,000. Then we'll say we'll offer $165,000. Maybe it'll come down. You might get the house for $170,000. So we asked for. I took their advice, and we offered $159,000, and he took it like that.
No telling what that's worth.
Well, I won't tell you because it's unbelievable.
You should see
what that piece of property is worth.
I'm telling you.
And but
the only way he's going to improve on is go to heaven. That's the way I want to put it.
Ken, you talked about your dad and that money that you had, the $5,000, I think. I just want to give you one quick example, if I can make it quick. I helped start the ABA basketball franchise. There was no American Basketball Association until I got involved and just happened to be the only entertainer involved when the ABA was formed. And I wound up, and it's another whole story to say, I owned the American the Oakland Oaks. And I owned it, and I didn't want to own it all, but my partner, after we got to a certain point, went bankrupt, took bankruptcy and left me holding the bag. After we had won the first year and the second year with Rick Barry, a great player, the team was doing great, but the Oakland people were not supporting the team. And now I was stuck holding the bag. I owned the whole thing. And I got an order from the Bank of America in Oakland. My partner had built up a huge debt, and now I was saddled with that debt of hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that I didn't have. And I get this check, this order from the Bank of America in Oakland by Friday. If we don't have this, it was going to be like almost $3 million. By Friday, we're going to come against you and attach everything you have. I didn't have the money, but I had a group of guys helping me, Christians, but particularly George Otis.
Yeah.
George Otis and a Christian businessman, and we believed in the Word. We believed in Jesus. We believed He would help us. I could not solve this myself. After all the success, I was going to be bankrupted. And we prayed, and we believed that God was going to give me the way out of this mess. Somebody would buy the Oakland Oaks. Right now, it seemed hopeless because the Oakland people weren't supporting it. And we had a meeting with my advisors on a Thursday. And they said, Pat, sorry, but we can't help you anymore. We've tried everywhere. We tried to get the newspaper in Oakland to be your partner. No. We've Hewlett Packard, big companies. We couldn't get anybody to come aboard a winning team. We'd won the championship. And we're just going to have to ask the Bank of America to let you pay it off over a period of time. And I, foolish that I said, guys, we've done all we can do, right? Yes. I had prayed with George Otis the night before. I said, God's going to solve this problem. I don't know how. And one of the guys, smart Alex, got up and said, Pat, this is the Bank of America. I said to him, the Bank of America is in the hands of God, and He's going to solve this. That was on Thursday. Friday, I was in the pool, just waiting for the axe to fall if it was going to fall, and hot, and praying, and a fly came through and landed in the water in front of me. A fly. I don't like flies. No fan of flies. But I began to identify with that fly because he was fluttering in the pool and he couldn't get out and he didn't know how he got there or where he was. And so I reached down with my hands and I scooped him up in water and let the water drain out of my hands until the fly, all wet and about to die in my hand, I set him over on the hot pavement and watched him as he dried. He got dry pretty quick, and his feet were dry, rubbing his eyes, clear, and his wings began to flap his wings. And I was rooting for that fly, and he flew away. And I was so pleased that the fly got out of his difficulty, and that's when I got goosebumps. And I said, Lord, if I can help that fly, I know you're going to help me. Yeah. And what occurred to me was then that the only way I could have let that fly know what had happened to him is if I could be a fly and talk to him in fly language. I can communicate. And I said, that's what Jesus did for me. He died that I might live. And he said I could ask anything in his name. And I said, Lord, I know you're going to solve it. This was Thursday. Friday, the axe was to fall. And I get a telegram from Oakland. The Bank of America guy was amazed. He said a guy that I didn't even know and none of us knew had flown in from Washington, D.C. and said, I want to buy the Oakland Oaks. How much? How much? And he was given the price of $3 million, I think. For a basketball team, that was way, way back then. And he said, fine, I represent a group of dentists and doctors. We want to build a sports consortium. We want a basketball team and a football team and a soccer team. And I want a 25 million line of credit. You got it, the banker said. And included the 3 million to pay off my debt. And it was like that. I mean,
I'll fly away, oh glory.
Yeah. And I didn't even know. I've never met the man that bought the plane, bought the team, and never met the banker that I was dealing with that was going to lower the boom on me. But I met Jesus, and he had his word, and I was free from that moment on, from that debt.
That's what faith will do.
Yeah.
It will do the impossible.
Yeah, it will. Especially if you're trying to live for him.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, if you're just a guy off the street and decide you're going to claim something that Jesus died to give you, you ought to get to know the guy.
What about the 7 sons of Sceva?
Oh, yeah.
We come to you in the name that Jesus that Paul preaches. And that devil said, I know Paul, I know Jesus, who are you?
Yeah, who are you?
And whipped all 7 of them.
You've got to know Jesus.
They didn't have any right to the name.
That's right.
They were in the name that Paul preaches. No faith in that.
Yeah.
And the thing that, over the years, that's when last night when I watched The Mulligan, you really need to meet that movie that Pat did.
It's there.
He's the old pro.
Several movies of mine that are on Amazon Prime, and available. But
that's just so important that you watch that. And it just takes you step by step through some things. And it proves in the movie, you mess around and wait too late, and you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Because this young man, he didn't want to have anything to do with it. He didn't want, and all of that, and you need to watch it. I've seen it at least 3 times.
He was believing in himself and in the bank and the money.
Yeah.
And
his family's praying for him, his son's praying for him. And when I went home last night, I went into to our garden rooms to say goodnight to Gloria because it was late, and there it was. It just started. I just sat down and watched it again and cried all over it again.
The Mulligan, yeah.
Oh, on that 18th green?
Yeah.
And he walked out there and he's thinking, I like to miss this deal.
Yeah.
And he's the old pro.
Yeah.
Well, he went back to tell him that he accepted Jesus, and he got out there and they were having his funeral on the 18th green.
Yeah. But knowing that he's in heaven.
Yeah.
The character that I prayed was in heaven.
How we doing on time, Tim? We got 1 minute. The bottom line of all this, doing the impossible, is Jesus' calling card.
There's nothing impossible.
Nothing impossible to the one that believes. And that young man that is having those seizures. And Jesus just walked up there and talked like wasn't anything to it.
And I love the fact that the people that he blessed in the Bible we know by name.
Yes.
He knows their names. Jairus' daughter, he was a Roman centurion, I think. But the guy in this Yehoshua, we know it's old Simeon. He was just an old coot hanging out in the temple. And
we don't have but 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
We'll be right back. We'll see you in a few moments.
You've heard it before. What you say is what you get. Now in this powerful series, find out why. Discover how to transform your life through the words you speak with my grandfather's teaching, Words of Prayer, Words of Faith. People always look at my grandparents and think, I could never have that. But truly, my grandparents have practiced what they've taught for decades. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Speak life. When you understand the power God has placed in your words, you'll discover how to use the power of words to receive exactly what God has placed in your heart. Filled with practical scriptures and personal examples, Words of Prayer, Words of Faith will show you how the words you speak in prayer can affect you, how the words you speak out of prayer can affect you, and how to discipline your tongue. It's also going to teach you how to use faith-filled words that chart a victorious course for your life and so much more. Discover how to use your words the way God intended and change your world today. This is available on MP3 or CD. Get your free copy by visiting our website or by calling the number on your screen.
Words of Prayer, Words of Faith, a free download for you today on kcm.org.za. Always respond in faith with the Word of God. Use your words the way God intended to heal, strengthen, protect, and increase. Bring His plan and victory into your life and the world around you. For more information about this free offer, please contact your regional office. Get your download of Words of Prayer, Words of Faith today.
Find something life-giving on kcm.org, your study center for victory. View the Believer's Voice of Victory broadcasts on demand and study along with the daily broadcast notes, or download the audio podcasts to listen on the go. Watch prior KCM events for hours with truth going in your eyes and ears wherever you are. Get real help for real-life problems. Follow our guide to believe, speak, pray, learn, and apply your way to results from your couch, desk, or kitchen table. Stay focused on truth by reading the devotional From Faith to Faith every day. Read interactive BVOV magazines and click to unlock more content in each issue. Get a faith boost from testimonies of real-life success from people just like you. Find information on what partnership means and take advantage of the resources provided just for you. Read archives of Kenneth Copeland's partner letter and download free books from our bonus library. Over 50 titles available to read on your phone, computer, or e-reader. KCM.org meets you where you are.
Before we go today, I want to remind those of you that don't know, the Believer's Voice of Victory magazine was first put into print in 1971. Now, since then, every month, this free magazine sends the uncompromised word of faith from the top of the world to the bottom, all the way around the middle, healing people around the world, growth in faith, live in victory, to get a free subscription, to read it online, kcm.org. You got it? kcm.org. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, this is Kenneth Copeland. And Pat Boone.
Hey, who?
Reminding you that God loves you and we love you and
Jesus is Lord.
Kenneth and Gloria Copeland want to thank you for joining us on the Believer's Voice of Victory broadcast. To learn more about Kenneth Copeland Ministries and how we can help you grow in faith, check out our website for free content and resources, available to you on kcm.org.za.